And we're back. We're the three dudes of horror. I'm Toots.
Damien.
Warm boy.
Alright, and today we're going to be talking about The Exorcist. Since Halloween's coming up, and I still consider that one of the scariest, if not the scariest movie I've seen. I would say, I still rank it up there with the scariest, if not one of the scariest.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I mean, it's one of my favorites, my top 10 horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like probably number one. I'm not even lying, but it still scares the shit out of me now. The story is really good. I mean, everything on it's really creepy and scary. And I saw it as a kid. I don't know if you saw it as a kid too.
I
Damien.
I saw when I was like 12.
I think I shouldn't have seen it as a kid, but I'm glad I did in a way. But it still scares me to this day.
Yeah, I saw it when I was about 11 or 12, and I saw it with my dad. And we rented it back when VHS was still in style. And we were just watching it, and then like, of course, all the possession stuff happens, and then my dad's like, that can happen, you know. I'm like, really? Like, yeah, like that stuff happens, like, in real life. And I think that made it scarier for me.
Yeah. I think growing up, my mom also kind of told me something to that effect. It's like, well, if you don't behave, this is gonna happen to you, and you don't want this, so you have to go to church and blah blah blah. All those things that they would tell us as kids. And I mean, I don't know why it still scares me. Like, I know I shouldn't be scared anymore because I know it is real what happens, but like, it's a movie, like. But every time I see it, it still creeps me out.
I think what freaks me out about it is it's based on a novel, but the novel, as far as I know, is based on a case that happened.
True story, yeah.
I think like in St. Louis, Missouri or something. But
I think it was in the 60s or 50s.
No, it was like the 40s. I think. The 40s or 40s. But
it was actually a boy.
Mm-hmm.
It was a boy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Damien, what do you think of the movie? Because I know that you're pretty well versed in this movie.
Well, I mean, I've said it before. I think that The Exorcist is one of those. I think The Exorcist is one of those movies that transcends horror. Like, it's a great drama on top of being a horror movie. Like, it's a great movie. Like, not even to criticize it as a horror movie. Like, it's written really well. The characters are fleshed out really, really well. Father Damien in particular, Jason Miller's character, he's dealing with a lot of grief and guilt. He's dealing with a lot of guilt about the circumstances of his mother passing away. So, to me, those are the aspects of that movie that are really. I saw it recently. I hadn't watched The Exorcist in a while, and I watched it in its entirety recently, and it's actually not as scary as I remember. But even though it's not as scary as I remember when I saw it as a kid and a teenager, it's still a great movie, and it's still really entertaining. And it's one of it makes you think. There's a real powerful message behind it, I think.
Yeah, and it's I mean, I think there's two different fathers, right, in the movie. They try to, I guess, exorcise the demon.
Yeah.
And I think that after seeing like several people, like, oh, I don't think this is gonna work, because the demon pretty much controls the father and scares him.
Well, I think in the movie, Max von Sydow's character is the exorcist.
Yeah, Max von
Sydow. He's the one that has a history of performing exorcisms, and he's the one that's eventually called in to actually perform the actual exorcism. I think Father Damien's character was more assisting him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't handle it himself because of like what I was saying about all the demons and everything, his inner demons. I mean, that he's wrestling with. So, but I mean, like as far as scary scenes, one scene in particular that freaked me out, that's still pretty creepy, is the first time. It's the first or second time that Father Damien talks to the demon that's inside Reagan before the exorcism even starts, because he has to get proof in order for the church to to, you know, give the green light to perform the exorcism, so that's what he's trying to do. Where the demon imitates the homeless guy in the subway.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That would have freaked me out. If I was in that room alone with that demon and that happened, I would have, because he encountered a homeless guy in the subway like prior to that, and the demon imitates the homeless guy, like that would have freaked me out. That would have freaked me out even more than him imitating Damien's mother.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think what freaks me out about it is, yeah, there are some scary scenes in there, but like I said, the fact that it's based on a novel based on a case that happened, you know, I think
Right.
for me, and that's kind of what creeps me out about the Conjuring movies, is that they're based on cases, you know. And I think, and now, I've never read the novel. My older brother's actually read the novel, and he hasn't told me much about it, other than it's really good. And I'm sure they've embellished a lot of things. I really don't know the differences between the movie and the novel, to be honest, but
I heard they're pretty close.
they're pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
they did change some things. Like, now it's a female. In the book, I think it's a male.
Yeah, because like I said, I think, because the novel is based on that case that happened, you know. And to me, that's what really scares me, you know. And it doesn't help that watching shows like A Haunting and things like kind of solidifies that.
Yeah.
So kind of looking back on The Exorcist, and it's been years since I've seen the movie. It's been a long time, because it's one of those that I'm not just gonna put on, you know, unless I'm at a party or like
Somebody else is there.
yeah, unless a group of people agree, like, let's watch The Exorcist, and I'll be like, I guess it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong, it's a classic, but it still scares me.
Yeah, and I had the same opinion as well. Like, it still scares me. It still haunts me. Like, to this day, if I watch it alone, like, that's probably like I can't watch it all. I just can't.
Yeah.
And I mean, my fiance knows about it.
Mhm.
She's always making jokes about it. It's like, hey, well, you know, we're gonna put that movie on. It's like trying to scare me and things like that. But I'm like, no, that's fine. We can watch another movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely probably my number one out there. Right?
Yeah, I would say it's
horror
number one.
movies for me.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't seen it, I mean, I highly recommend it. You should see it. And I know after this, it kind of go into like the other Exorcist movies, but I can't really talk about those. Compared to this one, I think this is the best one in the franchise.
Yeah, we can talk about the other one.
But we can talk about that later. But overall, I give this a good solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I give it an A to an A plus. That the fact, and I've heard of stories of people seeing it like, yeah, it's not scary, or it's, you know, oh, the effects look hokey or whatever. You know, and I think that's because I don't think they actually watched it when they were younger.
Yeah.
You know, when we were more impressionable.
Yeah, especially, I remember going to bed at night, I'd be like, after watching the movie, I was like, I couldn't go to bed for a while because of this movie.
Yeah, and yeah, it's one of those where, like, unless you actually watch it as and who knows, some people may still find it scary as an adult. It might be the first time they see it as an adult, and they might find it scary. I'm sure there's people out there that feel that way, but I'm sure the generation that saw it when they were kids, whether it's 11, 12, or younger, you know, I'm sure they're like, oh yeah, that one was scary, you know. And I'm sure some have seen it and they're like, it's not that scary, you know.
Yeah.
Like Damien, you know, like you saw it, like you watch it nowadays and you're not really scared by it, but I'm sure when you were younger, like, it scared you.
Yeah, it was. I remember I think I was 17 when that big version you've never seen came out.
The director's cut one.
Yeah, and I went to see that. I think it was like it was my dad and I at like 10:30 in the morning during the summer, and it was like us and like one old couple in the theater, and that was it. And like midway through the movie, I had to go to the restroom like really bad, and I was terrified to get up and go to the restroom by myself. Because you know the theaters have those long, you know, there's rows and rows of urinals and stalls, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going.
Well, if it was what is now, well, did you watch it in Brownsville or you watched it in San Benito?
That was in Arlington.
Oh, in Arlington, okay.
Yeah, I had never got the chance to see that version, So that's something I want to do now.
Yeah, I think a friend of mine tried to put it on, and this is like in my early 20s, and I was just like, after a while, I'm like, take it off. Like it's freaking me out because it was nighttime, and I was just like,
Like I'm not downplaying the special effects and the makeup effects and creature effects and all that of The Exorcist, because this movie came out like in 1973 or 74.
It was like 73.
And those were pretty damn good for that.
Yeah, they still hold up.
Yeah, and actually seeing the head, you know, I mean, that's the one that everybody remembers.
Yeah, and the pea suit.
That was hard. I saw the behind the scenes kind of thing footage, and they were explaining how they do all those things. I think it takes a lot of time and patience to do that, and I think that also made the movie really great.
And they're all, and the fact that it's all practical.
Yeah, it's all practical effects.
And I think what scared me years later also is the fact of hearing the stories where just a lot of crazy bad luck, you know, circumstances happened during the making of it, and a couple people died.
Oh yeah.
Like the night watchman, the guy that watched the set at night, like the security guy, I guess. Supposedly he mysteriously died. There was a lot of weird things like that.
And one of the actors also, I think.
That's crazy.
But I mean, what I wanted to emphasize was that this movie is just a great drama. Like it's not. I don't encapsulate this movie by the special effects that were available at the time or anything like that. Like this movie is just a great story. Like even if it's not as scary as it was to me when I was a kid, it's still a great movie.
Yeah, so I still highly recommend it. Like, yeah, I may not watch it often, and it still like bothers me when it's on TV. Like unless I'm with a group of people, I'm like, all right, fine, we'll see it. You know, but I still highly recommend it. Like I said, I still give it an A+. You know, so go ahead and watch it if it's on cable. Although I recommend it.
I don't think the full version is gonna be on cable.
No, but I mean like HBO or cinema.
Oh,
or
HBO,
something
yeah.
like that.
Well, I without a doubt give this movie an A+.
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie's a great movie. Like it's easily an A+ for me.
Yeah. All right, so that is our review of The Exorcist. Like I said, we highly recommend it. Watch it if you dare, because it's Halloween. We'll be back with another review. So we are the Three Dudes of Horror. I'm Toots.
Damien.
And Wormboy.
All right, see
y'all later.